kind of started with the beef that he had with Kevin Durant, and that was for some weird reason. I have no clue why he came after Kevin Durant. I don't have what he said. Um, I will find it whenever I
He
pitch it to the other
basically
guys.
he basically was saying Durant was chasing rings, hanging on the coattails
Right.
as like the role player. Like,
Yeah, in a nutshell. And
who
then
the hell were you, Pippen?
right, exactly. And that's what KD brought up. KD was like, dude, you were the biggest number 2 in NBA history. Like, your whole job was to just follow suit to what Michael did, which he did. They won 6 rings doing that. So they get into this whole ordeal, and it's kind of calmed down now. But then he goes on the Dan Patrick show, and part of the thing that Kevin Durant said was, "Weren't you the guy who got all upset whenever Phil Jackson chose Tony Kukoc to take the last shot instead of you, and you went and sat on the bench and cried like a little crybaby?" Which he did. He absolutely did that. There was nothing wrong with it. Tony Kukoc was a better shooter. You want in the last seconds of the game, you want the ball in your best shooter's hands 100% of the time. I was about to say 9 times out of 10. No, 100% of the time. And then he comes on the Dan Patrick show, and Scottie Pippen claims that Phil Jackson was racist. So he's racist because he chose the better shooter to take the last shot. That's what you're supposed to do as a coach. This has nothing to do with race. This has absolutely everything to do with the fact that Scottie Pippen is just mad because he came after somebody for being a riding the coattail when that's all he did his entire career. That was his job. Then he comes on the Dan Patrick show and calls Phil Jackson a racist because he chose a better shooter to take the last second shot. So Phil is a racist because he's a smart basketball mind? Are you kidding me? Pip, come on, dude. What is the whole deal? And it's weird. He's been acting like this all the last year-ish, something like that. He's just got a bigger mouth. He's saying stupid stuff 24/7. I just and I don't even know where I mean, do you guys see it all how Phil is a racist for choosing a better player to score the last shot? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, Tony Kukoc was supposed to be the next generation for the Bulls after Michael. That's how the whole ordeal with Jerry Krause started, because Tony Kukoc was brought in to be that next guy, and Michael didn't really like that. So that was the whole point. He was there to be a good shooter. He was the shooter for that team, and then he did what he was supposed to. Phil Jackson put the team in the best situation to win. That's your job as a coach. Your job as a coach is to put players in position to win. And he did things like that. Phil Jackson did it a lot. I mean, look how many rings he won with
Was he
MJ, with Kobe.
11 or 12 rings? I mean,
Right,
that
exactly.
says
Like
a lot.
there's no point for this. And then all of a sudden now Pippen's calling him a racist. I don't get it at all, but I want to toss it around to you guys. Tori, you first. Any any feeling of racism here at all?
I'm gonna do my best imitation of somebody from the South right here. He done lost the damn mind. I don't know where he got that from. Pippen, I really don't know. Like, where does this come from? Like I said, like when he originally made the contact or the quote about KD's a number 2 and riding coattails, I was like, literally, you are the biggest number 2 of all time. Like when Michael retired and it became your team, you became barely above 500 team. You were still a playoff team, but you were not an elite team anymore. So were you really a superstar or not? You were a great Robin to a great Batman, actually the GOAT Batman. So it's not really, there's nothing behind it. There's no validity behind it. He got traded to the Rockets. It was him and Barkley, and they didn't do a ton there, which makes me sad because I'm a huge Barkley fan. I loved Charles Barkley as a player.
Well,
And
they were also super old at that time too, so nobody was really expecting a
right.
big ring out of that.
Well,